Yeah, you know what time it is. Valhalla Hour, let's go! Kick back, put on your headphones tight. Rob and Matt, bringing fire every night. From the land of 10,000 lakes, we rule the scene. With a crew so fresh, keeping it raw and clean. Minnesota Vikings, kings of the north. We wear our purple heart and let the battle roar forth. Breaking down the game, dissecting the plays. With passion so fierce, we'll set the night ablaze. So give us a follow, hit that like. Share it with your crew, you know we're about to strike. Valhalla, our podcast, living life bold, where legends are made and stories are told.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Welcome to another episode of Big Game Hunting. The Valhalla Hour podcast. I'm your host, Sir SoCal. With me, as always, is Matthew Lissateri. How are we?
Pretty good. Feels good to, like I said, hunt some lions.
It feels great to be not only back in the winner's circle, but back in the winner's circle in Detroit, stopping that 5-game skid.
Yeah, that was much needed.
But I got to take these out because you guys got to see these next two clips I'm about to present for you. So after the game, this is what Mr. JJ had said in the locker room.
We can't let this be an emotional letdown. We got to come back stronger and keep getting better. And every little detail of everything is our game. Like a dog in the street.
Like a dog in the street. I don't know where he came up with that, but there was also...
Yeah, they were saying it in the hallway after the win, walking back to the locker room. Someone was hollering it, but...
And then they didn't get a good image of this, but now I found a different angle. I had to take this off my phone. I don't know if you saw the little headline, but it said, pretty sure JJ McCarthy unalives people on his off days and sleeps like a baby after. And you saw that look. That is now called the 9.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something.
Yeah. I'm a little scared.
I don't know, man. I gave Russell Wilson shit for so many years for his whole Mr. Unlimited, like, let's ride, like, just that kind of fake, corny personality, and I really hope that McCarthy doesn't kind of fall into that trap. If the team buys into it and it's helping them kind of find that motivation, then, like, go for it. But that shit, like, especially when you start losing and the quarterback's doing that stuff, it can sour very, very quickly.
Yeah. But some quick stats from the game. It was quite unique. That was definitely a really great game to watch.
Yeah.
Weren't from pretty much 4:08 left in the first quarter onwards, Minnesota either was tied or was ahead.
Yeah, it was an awesome game to watch. I was very excited. My biggest takeaway was how many just kind of average running backs gashed us for major yards. We held Gibbs to 2.8 yards per carry, and they only had 65 total rushing yards. And like you just said, I mean, they were either tied or trailing most of the game. But Detroit's not the type of team that goes away from what makes it work, and we held that running game absolutely in check. They did nothing against us, and it was awesome to see.
5 total sacks for our defense.
Yeah. Well, Hargrave was finally getting home. It seems like every time we hard bash somebody in particular on this podcast, that next week they go out and light it up. Like me, 2-3 weeks ago, shitting on Hawkinson, and he goes out and has an explosive game. And last week we shit on Hargrave and Allen, and Hargrave goes out, I think, racked up 2 sacks.
I feel bad for Sewell because he actually took a couple injuries, one to his left shoulder, and then they were putting something in his eye later on in the game. Apparently, either it got poked or some of those rubber pellets from the surface at Ford Field got into his eye.
That sucks. That sounds painful.
Oh, the last time we played Detroit in Detroit, we shit the bed 31-9. To come back 27-24. I like this.
First time Flores held Detroit to under 30 points.
I like this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to this. I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself, but people want to shut on McCarthy's stat line and say, like, well, he only had 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick, but he also had a rushing touchdown on a really good play. When Kirk was here and last year with Darnold, it's like, yeah, he finished the season with 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, but we got our shit pushed in by Detroit. Whereas it's like, well, we don't care about stats, we care about wins. And we bring in a quarterback like McCarthy, who in the offseason said people only care about wins, they don't care about stats. And he goes and does something we haven't done in 5 years, and now he's getting shit on because he only had 143 yards and not 300 plus. Who cares? We fucking won in Detroit for the first time since 2020.
but here's the thing. That pick should not have been up.
Yeah, absolutely should not have counted.
But I don't know what they saw. But to come back, off of a long hiatus like that, I like it. Heroes and zeros time. I think one of the biggest heroes has got to be JJ McCarthy.
I'm gonna go a different route.
Same.
Yeah, I'm going Miles Price in our run defense. I'm
Yep.
gonna say Brian Flores.
I'm going to say Aaron Jones.
I could agree with that. 97. How many? 97 all-purpose, right?
Something like that, averaged like 8 yards a carry, 8.5 yards a carry. That offense, I mean, McCarthy did his thing in the first quarter. That offense doesn't hum and hoe like it does without Aaron Jones just busting off huge chunk yardage.
Eric Wilson, you've got to also give him. He had 2 sacks.
He had 2 sacks, and look what he did for like. This is what's killing me is he's going to cost us a comp, and when we
Aaron
don't want to
Wilson?
pay a comp, yeah,
Who
a
cares
6th
about
round comp.
pick? It's about their prize.
Yeah, we don't want to pay a 5th round comp for backup quarterback. Could you imagine if we went with Jacoby Brissett?
That'd be sweet. He's the starter in Atlanta, or not Atlanta, Arizona, until proven otherwise. Probably move on from Kyler.
And we didn't want to give up a comp pick for that if McCarthy got hurt. And look at, but at the same time, I said it in the chat. A win's a win. I don't care how many yards you have.
Facts.
A W is a W. I don't care about that. And the fact that McCarthy has 2 touchdowns, I mean, I think it's kind of funny that he has the same amount of yards, the same stat line against the Detroit Lions as he had against the Chicago Bears.
And the same score, 27-24.
And here we go. Levi Drake Rodriguez, Player of the Week for that blocked field goal.
Heck yeah.
But there's also one thing we need to bring up before we move on to zeros. Yeah, how did this age?
I can't say shit. I was on this podcast last week saying we were going to lose 42-13. So.
Yeah, and I said something like 27-23 Minnesota was going to win.
Yeah.
I have no clue what I said. I just said we need to win.
You said Detroit was going to win.
Yeah, I know. I said Detroit was going to win, but I'm like, there. I didn't see us with how bad we were playing, pulling out a W.
I
But
don't think anyone did.
No, yeah, no one did. It's the what? It was the biggest point spread in the NFL until the Packers fell to the Panthers.
yeah, that one's surprising as hell.
Yeah,
Fuck, that was hilarious.
riddle me this: the Packers fall to the Panthers, the Lions fall to the Vikings.
The
What
Bears
hell
and
were
the
we in
Vikings.
those?
And the Bears won and we won.
The Bears, man, that Loveland touchdown late. How do you not wrap up that tackle? Like he
Week
got
9
nailed and bounced off of it.
Week 9 was a hell of a week for football. Good
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, it was a fun week. It sucks that all the division games are at noon.
Yeah. But now we have to go to one our zeros. Who is the zero from this week? I really don't know.
Number 37. The only name I know by penalty. Thomas. Zaire Thomas.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll give
I
him
don't even
kinda-
think that was a hold, but
No, phantom hold.
but called on him. 99-yard TD kickoff return. By the way, Miles Price, I have to throw in the winner column because he's been playing great for the season too. He's been playing great as the kickoff and punt returner. It's penalties that are hurting him.
Yeah.
I mean, no one would have known a 99-yard touchdown would have happened if they didn't watch the game.
Yeah.
And then the next special teams play, he's definitely out of bounds. That one I agree with. So back-to-back special team penalties cost us.
Yeah. I don't know if I can give a zero this week. It was a total team effort.
It was. I mean, honestly, our offensive line for giving up 5 sacks.
Yeah. A handful of those that were McCarthy just holding the ball a little too long, like escaping the pocket, but still just not throwing it out of bounds and just kind of falling and taking the sack, which there's about 2 or 3 of those he probably shouldn't have done. But my zero is going to be kind of joking, but at the same time serious because it applies to both sides of the ball. Is the refs are the zero? Like that roughing the passer on McCarthy. What is a defender? He put him on a pillow, man. They're like, well, he came down with the full weight. No, his arm was out. That was a terrible call. But then again, so was that phantom holding on the kick return that should not have existed. And then the no call on the offensive pass interference when Williams got that last touchdown. And even Williams said, like, hey, man, like, you got to make a play and hope you get away with it. And you got away with it. But that absolutely was offensive pass interference. So the refs on both sides, just bad calls.
I got to agree with you there. The game, it was a badly called game, period. It was so bad that I was like, I mean, there was a holding call that we turned down.
Yeah.
Like the refs were literally calling penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty.
Which is fine if the penalty is warranted, but there was either just shitty calls that didn't exist or like just egregious no calls.
The Detroit fans were just getting upset with the refs.
Like,
yeah.
I turned off the TV, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I get Detroit was getting the most of it, but at the same time, it's like, let them play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't say just let them play and then not call stupid stuff.
Yeah. The injury report is out. So we have 2 players questionable, Theo Jackson and Aaron Jones. We have 2 players out, Okudah and Oliver.
Oh, no.
Players unspecified, Will Freeze and Jonathan Allen. Allen had a non-injury related rest, but it sounds like he's going to be set to go. Will Freeze, I think he's going to be set to go. It's a calf issue, and everyone else is set to go.
Aaron Jones hurting.
Yeah, I expect him to play.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think it's going to be an interesting game, but we just got to contain Lamar.
Yeah, they're 100%. They have 0 injuries going into this week, so
I think it's going to be a defensive battle. And
I hope. Derrick Henry is obviously Derrick Henry, and he's hard to stop. Hopefully, we can kind of repeat what we did last week between Gibbs and Montgomery. But I mean, Lamar, he's an absolute monster. Yeah, I mean,
with
again,
Henry, get the ball, try to cause fumbles.
well, that's the thing.
And their defense is beatable.
It goes back to the same thing that we talk about every week, though, and it's physicality. And we just don't have the people in our secondary that are physical enough to make those second-level tackles in case Lamar or Henry get through. They're going to just bulldoze through anybody in our backfield, or in our secondary, I should say.
Before we move on, this week is the Vikings Salute to Service game. Haspels, Eric Garay, and we are, Matthew Lisses Terry, we're on the uniform in defense of our nation. Monday is Veterans Day, so let's thank them very much for their service. It is well appreciated, guys. Eric's up here this weekend because he's one of the honorees at the red carpet rollout the VWO does this year, or every year. Rob's up here as well. Our friend Jay Wee, who's also up here, he's another honoree. And I love this weekend because it means so much to me. It means so much to this country. So thank you guys so much.
I get a free movie ticket on Tuesday. I'm excited. I'm going to go see Predator.
And a bunch more free stuff. You might be getting like free burgers and stuff.
Yeah, it depends on where you go. Free Texas Roadhouse.
Oh.
Yeah. Hashtag worth it.
Well, it depends. I've had too much Texas Roadhouse. Keys to the victory. Definitely try to contain Lamar. That's one of the biggest keys I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he is obviously what makes that offense work. Without him, they were, what, 0-4?
Yeah.
And then they comes back and rattle off 2 straight and convincing wins, and he's fucking absolutely dominant.
Their defense is what made that, though. Even though, like I said, I think I think expose their defense.
Yeah.
Running the ball on them, play more physical. Get Jefferson the ball a little bit more. I think that their secondary is good, but try to use more than just Jefferson. Try to get all the receivers in the play, all the offensive weapons we have.
Well, that's the downside to Oliver being out. Is Hawkinson's going to be used to block more, so he's going to be kind of a non-factor. Thielen's going to have to step up. Like, we didn't give up a lot to get him, but he's just been kind of an absolute non-factor until it's like late in games that he finds himself on the field once in a while. We need to start getting him the ball.
Utilizing him. Like, barely see him out there.
I'm saying. Well, that's literally what I'm trying to say right now. Is that with Hawkinson having to use to block more tomorrow, we're going to have to get a way to get Thielen in the game a little more, and because he still has good hands when he's on the field, but we just don't target him.
1,000-yard receiver last season in Carolina.
Those 2 years ago, he had 650 yards in 10 games last year, but he was on pace for 1,100 yards.
But still,
he led the Panthers in receiving last year, and he missed 7 games.
I gotta go step away. Matthew's gonna take you the rest of the way.
I'll try.
I'm gonna go 28-21. Minnesota wins, and we keep this thing going. I will catch you guys next week.
Have a good one. Skull.
I would say 24-21. I can see both teams going about that, but maybe a little bit. Maybe 14-10. I can see a low-scoring game.
If our defense holds the Ravens to under 20 points, I'll be pumped, but I'll be super bummed if our offense fails to put up over 2 touchdowns. I'm not saying McCarthy's going to have 3 touchdowns every week, but I don't want to see this shit where it's like 2 touchdowns one week, 0 touchdowns in the pick the next week. I would at least like to see the offense.
The
Be a
reason
little
why
more
is
sustainable.
their defense is stable. They look at what they've given up the last 3 weeks.
Well, who have they played?
All I know is they only gave up 9 points in 3
Yeah.
games.
I'd have to see who they've played. Because their defense obviously wasn't that good when Lamar was out because they failed to win a game without him.
That's the
I think
thing.
it's the
I think they're beatable. I think they are beatable, way beatable than more beatable than teams give them credit for.
yeah. I mean, they're favored to win their division they're 3-5, and that's just because there's a reason Lamar is in the MVP convo every year. When that guy is on the field, it's a different team, and that's kind of what their defense like. When our offense sucks, our defense sucks because they can't get off the fucking field. When Lamar is healthy, that offense is always on the field because he can sustain drives. He almost never has to go 3 and out, and so that defense can stay fresh. So that's the thing. If we can keep their offense off the field, however which way, and make their defense get gassed, we'll have a chance. But
Time of possession is going to be a big battle in this game.
yeah,
Being honest, and KOC's ability to, and I don't mean to say this, his want to not run the ball is going to cost us.
didn't we run the ball more than we passed it last week?
Yeah, but how many games have we done that? Even with Wentz, who's
Yeah.
injured, like seriously, hand the ball to Mason, and the ball to Xavier Scott, who was showing good promise.
Mm-hmm. I think with McCarthy, and you're going to see us rely on the run more. And I'm not saying that it's going to be like it was in Michigan for his entire career, but to at least get rolling, I don't think McCarthy's going to have more than 20, 25 attempts a game. So we're going to have to run the ball. And I don't think, like, unless we're obviously playing from behind and we're down 2 scores, we have to throw the ball. If it's close at all, I think we're going to rely on the run more with McCarthy in at quarterback because they're just not going to have him be a 30-plus attempt guy to start.
That's true. I can see that.
So that's the thing is like with Derrick Henry, he's got fumbling issues this year, but so does Mason. So I mean, that's ball security. We can't fucking cough it up. Like that interception we talked about, that shouldn't have been an interception, but still, that throw was behind. We can't make mistakes like that and expect to win games. We have to play clean football too. So if we can have Eric Wilson or Harrison Smith kind of peanut punch the ball out of Derrick Henry's hands a couple times, I'll be a little more grateful. But it's going to be a field position thing. I don't know if we're going to have like long field sustained drives against this defense.
Don't they still have that one tight end that fumbled last season in the playoffs?
Mark Andrews?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's talk that he was going to get traded at the deadline, but I don't think he did. Isaiah Likely hasn't done shit this year.
Isaiah Likely. I actually liked Isaiah Likely.
Yeah. Yeah, he was solid last year, but he just hasn't really done a lot this year. Bateman's decent.
out of college.
Flowers is good.
Out of college, I liked him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough schedule. And then what do we play next year? Or not next year, next week. Is it Chicago again?
I don't know. I only pay attention to the this game.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is definitely a big test. And the video that Chesterton played earlier, we didn't really touch on it, which I wanted to, but we kind of moved on quickly. JJ McCarthy in the huddle in the locker room is talking about we can't let this be an emotional letdown. We got to go out next week and kick ass. And that seems to be our thing as a team is whenever we have these big wins, like that picture last year with Sam Darnold in the locker room after we beat the Packers and swept them. And then we went, 3-5 after that going into the season. And it's like we have these huge games where the team beats a team they shouldn't have beaten. And the next week we absolutely fucking suck and look like a 0-win team. We cannot have that.
More consistent. We have to play way more consistent.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about McCarthy is he knows how to win. So let's let this guy lead us. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah.
But where is this talk when he was hurt. Like he was on the field, he was out there.
Yeah.
He could have been saying this stuff. Hey, he could have
Well,
been.
it's one thing to say it. It's one thing to be the quarterback to actually put it into. Like we sat here every week talking about how the players on offense are getting into position, but Wentz isn't getting them the ball. Like McCarthy could be the best cheerleader of all time, but if Wentz can't throw a leading receiver, that's not really on him. With McCarthy, like when the O line's blocking, he can make plays. That throw to Addison in the first quarter that Addison should have caught, that should have been a touchdown. Like that was an absolute dime of a ball. When the game's on the line against Detroit, he needs to convert a third down. He throws an absolute dot at 20 yards to Naylor. Perfect over the shoulder throw. Like when he's got time in the pocket, the dude can layer it. But yeah, Brady was saying he doesn't need to make every throw a fastball. If he can stop doing that, which Kirk was doing that towards the end of his time here, was just lasering every fucking ball off receivers' hands.
I don't think that's the main issue with JJ. I think the issue is if you pay attention to his hips.
Yeah, I didn't see that much this last week. I felt like he was a little more grounded. I felt like his footwork was more improved. But he just would laser footballs. Like
the problem a lot of people do is there's this one guy on Chat Sports that pointed this out, and he made a mistake, and I actually called him out on it. When a quarterback throws the ball, he would say it was his knee. You want to lead with your hips where you're throwing the ball.
Yeah,
like, that's what they teach you in DB school or when you're a cornerback. Don't ever pay attention to their shoulders. Pay attention to where their hips are aimed.
Yeah.
Because where your hips are aimed is where that ball should be going.
Right.
He'd be throwing, and that's where you heard the back shoulder throws, right? It's because their hips are aimed one way and they're throwing it against their body.
Yeah.
That's the meaning of the back shoulder throw. And how many times do you hear them saying the back shoulder throw is a bad play? Brett Favre was kingpin of that.
No, by back shoulder throw, I mean he put it over Naylor's back shoulder to where only Naylor could get it out of the DB's reach. I'm not saying he threw it across
You're not
the body.
understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
no, you're talking about
the ball over your body like this.
You're talking about across the body, not over the shoulder.
Yeah, across the body.
Yeah.
Across the body, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, you definitely don't want to throw it across the body. Fucking Jordan Love did that against the Panthers last week. He rolled out of the pocket, had about 8 seconds to throw the fucking ball, and he throws it across his body completely to the other side of the field, and it hits a Panther right in the chest of the end zone, and the Panther player dropped it. He should have had 2 picks.
But I have a question for you. You ready for this one?
Sure.
Would you have given up the ransom for Sauce Gardner or Quinnen Williams?
So Chesterton and I kind of talked about this. I think it was before the show started. I can't remember if it was after, but absolutely I'm giving up 2 firsts for Sauce Gardner. And the reason I say that is because this team needs a shutdown corner. And while he hasn't been great the last season, he's also been playing for the fucking Jets. And we've seen how many players leave that team and be good again because the Jets are just a dumpster franchise. You hope to God you can get a player of Sauce's caliber in the first round. So in my opinion, you're only giving up 1 extra first round if you're a guaranteed stud. And it's a position this team very much struggles to draft and develop. So I 100% would have given up 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner.
Me too. And this is what kicks me off, right? Like, didn't Indy give up 80? Was it 80 Mitchell and 2 firsts for?
Yeah.
Addison and 2 firsts.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing Addison in 2 firsts. I'm doing Addison in a first or Naylor in 2 firsts, but no chance am I giving up Addison in 2 firsts.
I mean,
in my opinion, Addison's a first-round value in himself.
And A.D. Mitchell are about the same, aren't they? Or similar?
I mean, I don't think Aiden Mitchell's a key focal point in the Colts offense like Addison is in ours, no.
Naylor is too, so I mean Naylor's a little bit more too this season.
Yeah. No, I mean Naylor's been fine, but I'm not giving Addison, like I said, in my opinion, he's worth a first rounder in its own, or for sure a second rounder. I'm not giving up 2 firsts and a second for Sauce. No. Addison's too. I'm not opposed to trading Addison, but not along with the most valuable picks we own. Especially
But
where if this
Kwesi,
season goes south, this first rounder this year is going to be a high first rounder.
my only argument with that is this, right? You ready? Is with Kwesi's draft history. I mean, those first round picks aren't really worth that much to us.
I 100% disagree.
How many times have they been? How many times has he actually hit?
He's nailed more first rounders than he's missed.
Donovan Jackson's not really known yet, so
he's having a great season.
Injury, but yeah, he has played great. I don't want to judge someone on their rookie year. Okay, that's
so here's where I'm coming with that. People are super quick to judge McCarthy after 3 starts, calling him either really good or a bust. But Donovan Jackson has played great every time he's been on the field this year. We can't say that he's played good. People want to knock Kwesi's draft picks for being shitty immediately, but we can't give him credit when they play good.
I don't, like I said, I don't want to. McCarthy, I can't judge because 3 games, I'm not judging him.
People were judging Dallas Turner last year when he was behind Andrew Van Ginkel, who was top 10 in the NFL in sacks. That's what I'm saying. It's like when Kwesi's draft picks aren't immediately great, we top 10 him right away.
I don't like judging people right off the bat. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
Yeah.
And
I think people still put way too much stock in that first draft with the miss with Steen because we took him over Hamilton, which we've hammered this fucking talking point a million times on this podcast, where we had no cap. We had a ton of free agents leaving. We needed to fill space. We had limited draft picks. So he traded back, got the second best safety in the draft, who ended up being a bust because he doesn't know how to open a playbook and study a defense, and he snapped his leg in half. But he's drafted Addison, who's been a stud. He's drafted Dallas Turner, who's been good more often than not when he's been on the field. He's drafted Donovan Jackson, who's been really good so far this season. He's drafted Levi Drake Rodriguez, who we just highlighted for being the special teams player of the week, who's good when he's on the field. He's like, we just talked about Naylor, who we got this round, who's been a really good wide receiver 3 for us. The average successful percentage for a draft in the NFL is hitting 30% of your picks. His first draft, 100% bust outside of Naylor. I get that. But since then, he's drafted a lot.
Naylor wasn't his first draft. Naylor was probably his second draft.
I thought it was the end of his first draft.
We cut all of his first draft.
I'm like 99.9% sure. I'll have to look it up after the show and I'll send it in the group chat. But I could have sworn Naylor is the only surviving member of that draft. But it's either way, it doesn't matter. Like I get his first draft sucked, but we've also talked about how that was Rick Spielman's scouts. He was here for 2 months and had 0 time to put a game plan together to draft a quality draft. And since then, he's hit about 30 to 40% of his
second draft was decent. I'm not saying his second draft wasn't decent. I mean, I don't think wait a minute. His second draft, we took Addison, didn't we?
Yeah.
So you might be right on Naylor in the first draft.
He nailed Reichard. That was a great pick. Kyrie Jackson looked like he was going to be a stud, and unfortunately he was killed. And again, there's this thing where these players have to be either all pros or pro bowlers to consider them being good, but Levi Drake Rodriguez is good. Terry Ingram Dawkins has been good.
That's all I care about.
And they are. Levi Drake Rodriguez is performing. Ingram Dawkins is performing. Reichard is one of the best kickers in the NFL. Addison could be a wide receiver. Like this mantra that Kwesi fucking fails at every draft pick is stupid. There are definitely worse GMs in the NFL.
Yeah, look in Cleveland.
And there's things that he does good that other GMs don't. And the things that our GMs have failed us in the past. And we had the chance to sign Darnold to $45 million a year. He's like, no, we saw what he did when the lights were bright. We're not going to pay him. Same thing with Kirk. Atlanta was like, hey, take $100 million guaranteed. And Quay's like, no, we've seen him fail to live up in the playoffs for the last 5 years. Why are we going to pay a 36-year-old $40 million? There are GMs that are done with that kind of money and overpay terrible players. And he's willing to let overrated players go. And then we sit here and bitch, well, they're having a good season elsewhere. Great. We could easily be fucking 5-2 at this point if we had 4 more points against Pittsburgh and that Hawkinson touchdown against Philly counts. Like, I don't know. The whole Kwesi's terrible drafting mantra, people just are still way too hung up on that first draft and don't pay attention to the other 3.
Okay, so now what can we talk about?
I don't know. Matt Chesterton said he was leaving after 20 minutes. I said it's going to be an early show because like I don't have an outline. We could talk about other teams like again Chicago coming back against Cincinnati and putting up 47 points in the last minute Loveland
One
touchdown.
second. What about the debacle in Cincinnati?
The debacle?
You didn't hear about it? One of the running backs
No.
literally called out their defense
Oh,
for losing that
yeah.
game.
It's Chase called out the defense.
He didn't say any names, okay? He didn't say any
No.
names. But he just said I don't get it. Now we have a good offense and we're giving you the lead in the fourth quarter with time on the clock and you blow it.
Yeah.
And then then the head coach comes out and says, "We left points on the board, man."
Yeah, Joe Flacco's been nothing short of amazing in that offense, which I don't know if you've seen that graph of Joe Flacco's stat line in Cincy this year versus Burrow's stat line in Cincy when he's been healthy this year. But Flacco's outplayed Burrow with that same offense. And so, yeah, you can't put up 42 points on offense and lose a fucking game. Like that's absurd.
And they've put up 40 plus more than 1 week and lost.
So, I mean, they just went out and spent all that money making Hendrickson happy. They had the holdout with that first round rookie who was demanding a contract or whatever. They gave him the money and he's done absolutely nothing. Their secondary's trash. Like, yeah.
But it's like the Dallas Turner point that you made, okay? I don't look at edge rusher as a year one success. That's why whenever someone brought up Dallas Turner to me, I'm like, listen, you got to give edge rushers a year or two to learn how to do the job.
Right.
That's why I liked having Gernard and Van Ginkel for him to learn from. And then, hey, I was a little mad that we were playing that undrafted free agent guy more snaps than Turner, but at the same time, he was able to play linebacker where they didn't want to put him out at linebacker.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the name's slipping me right now of the undrafted guy. I know we were all big on him last season too.
Gabriel? No.
Starts with it. That sounds something similar.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue. And I get it. But that's kind of another thing too, is like this is a risk reward type situation. When you draft, as we drafted McCarthy and Dallas Turner at two of the youngest people at their positions in the NFL, like JJ McCarthy is still only 22 years old. And I think Dallas Turner just turned 23. Whereas all these other people that were in their draft class were 24, 25. Like they're a couple of years behind developmentally, but they just have the mentality and physical prospects.
Dallas Turner's only knock with me is his size. Was his size on the coming off that edge.
Yeah. And he put on muscle over the offseason. Like he's gotten bigger. And he's still young. He can put on more muscle. Dude. Yeah. And so if he doesn't turn it on next year, obviously there'll be valid criticism on if he was the right pick. But
I mean, who else do we take at that pick? That's another question. And
I mean, anybody in the secondary?
Yeah, anybody in the secondary. Well, I like Dallas Turner, and I like what I'm seeing out of him. He's just not productive as much as he should be. You know what I'm saying?
Which, I agree. But Flores, his defense is notoriously difficult to process. And again, Dallas Turner is still really young. So, I mean, Danielle Hunter, he was one of the quickest people in the NFL to reach 50 sacks. And he only played, I think, like 38 or 40% of his snaps his rookie year. And his second year, he kind of caught on. But he also, again, wasn't behind Gernard and Van Ginkel for the majority of the games that he's been on the field.
And we can't criticize someone for and then say, hey, man, we got the deepest edge rush in the NFL. Well, what's that mean? There's only 2 edge rushers now that we can play. And we definitely want to have Van Ginkel out there. We definitely want to have Gernard out there. We definitely want to have Turner out there, but can we teach Turner how to be a middle linebacker.
Maybe.
Maybe
I
if
mean,
he
that's
can learn
the
how to go in coverage, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he can play better than the two we have now.
yeah. I mean, the reason we sat here in the offseason and said we were so deep at some of these positions is because we're watching these players in camp performing really well, and then they're getting cut. And it's like, well, damn, like if they look that good and they're getting cut, then the players that we have starting on this defense must be really good. And we're sitting here talking about an undrafted rookie coming in and playing over Dallas Turner, and he was ending up playing productive. So it doesn't really matter who's drafted where or what position they're in. If they're coming in and playing good football, who gives a shit? Like you can say, like, well, you wasted draft picks, take him in the first round, but then just swap it. Then say fucking Dallas Turner was the undrafted free agent, and this undrafted guy came in. Gabriel Murphy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I knew I knew it was a Gabriel.
Gabe Murphy, yeah. And that's another thing. Like, yeah, we saw him last year. Like, hey, man, this guy looks like he can be really promising. And we sit here for years and years and talk about how you can't build a team through free agency and you have to draft and develop. But then we sit here and we try to draft and develop these players, and if they're not immediately successful after one season, it's like, fuck it, they suck, move on. It's like, well, no. Some of these players take 2 or 3. Devontae Adams, he's one of the best receivers in the last 20 years. He was a dropaholic his first 3 years. He didn't catch on right away.
Green Bay called him Butterfingers forever.
Honestly, he was not great his first few seasons, and now he's an absolute stud, and still is, no matter who his quarterback is, he's a stud. And it's because it took him a minute to get used to the NFL. Like, we got to give these players more than a season or two. If they're shitty in year 3, then fine, we can have that conversation.
And that's why I sit there and say, hey, there's some positions you can't sit there and say, hey, 1 year, like cornerback, it's hard to play corner in the NFL.
Yeah.
And if you look at some of the defensive schemes like Flores and like Zimmer, Rhodes wasn't that successful year 1.
Year 2. He was super handsy his first couple of years, and then it clicked, and he was fucking shut down Rhodes for 2 years. And then he went to the Colts and sucked. Watch the same thing happen with Sauce. Just goes to the Colts and just absolutely falls off. But yeah, no, I mean, and we sit here and talk about what did I see in the group chat earlier? Ed Ingram for Houston is graded as one of the better offensive linemen in the NFL this year. He's only given up, I think, like 9 pressures so far versus like 23 at the same point last year. Our O-line coach sucks, man. We got rid of all these players who looked like they were underperforming. They've all gone to new teams like frickin' Bradbury to New England, and they're having their career years. Meanwhile, we bring in Fries, who was good on the Colts last year. We bring in Kelly. Well, I suppose Kelly was good. He just has had brain mush. Yeah, but School was good as a backup in Tampa Bay. They come here, and we're sitting here wringing all their heads. Well, Fries has been decent, but it's just our O-line is underperforming with our coaching. And so that's another thing, too, is like we need better scouts, clearly, because our draft picks do miss more than they hit.
And there's a stat out there that, no, I don't want this to happen, but you remember David Carr? Not Derek, David.
Yeah.
And how he was sacked and how and then after like his second or third year, he's seeing ghosts behind him and just holding the ball too long.
Yeah.
It's because he was being sacked so many times.
Right.
Being in the 3 games that he's played is one of the top sacked quarterbacks in the NFL.
I haven't seen that issue with him, though. Like, there was a few throws he had last week where he ate the throw. Like, he didn't cower away. And a few of his sacks were him trying to escape the pocket and then just not getting rid of the ball. And he just
I know the Hawkins one was he wasn't holding the ball too long. He tried to escape the pocket. Hawkinson hit his leg and basically made a fingertip sack.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of especially last week, a lot of the sacks that he had, it wasn't just the defense getting through our line unblocked and just nailing them. A lot of it was either self-inflicted or just, not really getting the ball out quick enough. So,
and I think as a coach, I think O'Connell can help that. I hope he can. You know, hey, stop holding the ball, try to process your progression, see.
Yeah. And that just comes with playing. Like as you play, the game slows down because it's not all new. It's not all like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? Like with literally any job anybody ever has, go back and think to your first week or your first month starting. Were you as efficient in your first month as you are in year 2 or year 3? No. As you get used to the job, things become smoother, things become easier. You figure out what works, what doesn't work. He started 3 games. He's in year 2, and it's halfway through year 2, but he's started 3 games.
We have to keep that in mind.
We do. Look at Bo Nix this last week against a terrible Raiders team. Played like absolute shit, had 2 picks. Imagine if that was McCarthy in prime time. It'd be Vikings fans sitting here saying Kwesi needs to get fired, and we should have brought in Flacco instead of McCarthy. But it's Bo Nix, and it's like, oh no, it's not on him. It was just one bad game. No, he's not having a good second year. He's having a sophomore slump. Jaden Daniels is having a sophomore slump when he was healthy.
Bo Nix is actually playing pretty good in Denver right now. It's just one bad game.
Not really. He's having a regression from last year. His passer rating's down. His touchdown to interception ratio is down. His completion percentage is down. I'm not saying he's
Denver
bad.
wins
but
are up.
it is. Yeah, because their defense. Like we're sitting here talking about Baltimore's defense. Denver's defense is literally the only reason they won that game on Thursday. Bo Nix had 2 interceptions. Like he literally tried to throw that game away. They won what, 13-10 or some shit?
Yeah, I would have
So-
if they lost, but at
I'm
the
just
same
saying.
time, he did it. That's what we need out of our quarterback. It's hey, in our defense. Hey, defense needs to play a lot more consistent than they are.
Yeah.
Let the
Well-
run the clock, beat them on defense.
Well, the 2 wins McCarthy has, what did we see both games? Caleb Williams didn't do shit to us. Swift didn't do shit to us. And McCarthy had 3 total touchdowns, and it was enough to win. And then same thing with this last week. We held Gibbs and Montgomery in check. Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of did his thing, but not really. And Williams got away with an offensive pass interference for his lone touchdown. But our defense mostly did their thing. McCarthy put up 3 touchdowns, and we won. Atlanta got away from us.
Did Amon St. Brown actually come back
Into the game?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he left.
No. Yeah, you're right. He came back the next to play.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Where he went out, and then there was like there wasn't an official snap, so he has to miss a second play or something like that.
Like he was
Yeah.
down after a good catch and
Yeah, no, he came
it
back
looked
in after that
bad
second
and he
possession. or
started
whatever.
walking off and everybody started cheering.
Yeah. Speaking of walking off, that video that came out with that Lions secondary, whoever the fuck he was trying to talk shit to Jefferson as Jefferson was walking by, it's like, bro, you're losing. And like Jefferson mossed you for a one-handed touchdown earlier in the game. Why are you talking shit?
You're losing. Well, did we lose the game? No.
No, it's like you lost to McCarthy. You're talking shit. Like McCarthy still has yet to lose in Michigan. Good for him. But that's
I
the
just
thing. It's
hope
like
What if we
He's
sweep
so-
the Lions this week? I mean, this year.
huh?
What if we sweep the Lions this year?
That would be fucking hilarious. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that would be hilarious.
I'm hoping it does.
Same. I hope we sweep the division. Let's go 6-11, but we'll go 6-0 in the division. Who gives a shit?
Hey,
Although that's obviously already impossible. But
we won the division. Wait a minute. We didn't lose to a div. Did we? Oh yeah, we did.
No,
We
we've
haven't.
only lost to the Steelers, the Falcons. I don't know, the fucking whatever, it doesn't matter. But no, our 2 wins with McCarthy are both division games. He's 2-0 in the division. He has more division wins than Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams has played a season and a half.
Yeah, but Caleb Williams is playing for the sucky ass fucking Bears. By the way, did you hear the father's tweet opinion of their second year receiver Romeo Oduzi or Denzi?
What about
Whatever.
him? Odunze?
He wanted his son traded.
Aren't they winning? Haven't they won like 4 straight, 5 straight?
I know they're winning, but he goes, they're not targeting his son at all.
He was crushing it the first 4 or 5 weeks.
They targeted him 3 times in New England.
Yeah, that's one game.
And he's like,
look at Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden has what, 286 yards through 9 games?
But before the trade deadline happened, Romeo my father's opinion is my father's opinion. It has nothing to do with me.
It's like Christian Watson's dad.
He's entitled his opinion.
I mean, he is. But Christian Watson's dad, same shit. He was talking shit about Matt LaFleur, saying like, oh, his offense sucks. He's not targeting Watson enough. Like, he's not using Jordan Love enough. He runs the ball too much and blah, 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 blah. Like, get my son the ball. And it's just like parents need to stay out of it.
Exactly.
You do what you got to do to win games. Yeah, no, I mean,
but hey, if the Bears were actually looking for trading that player, well,
that's
receiver for us. I'll give you a nailer.
That's the thing, though. Like with Ben Johnson, the Bears don't suck this year. They started off kind of rocky, and their defense isn't great. Obviously, like they gave up 42 to Joe Flacco, but
yeah,
I mean the offense is clearly working better than it was. They're clearly winning more games than they used to winning. But you want to sit here and talk about Kwesi. Poles has had back-to-back number 1 picks that he used to draft the best quarterback in the draft, and then the other one he used to get an absolute haul to help build that roster. What the fuck has he done?
That's true.
Why isn't he on the hot seat?
I thought he was on the hot seat, but have they even re-signed him yet?
I have no idea. But there's the rumors that the Vikings might move on from Kwesi after this season. So it's like,
it could be worse. Kwesi, so, and his contract's up.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Is like I shouldn't say we, but like Kwesi and KOC are what, like 36 and 17 since they've got here. Yep. Meanwhile, you can flip that exact record for Chicago.
I'm still sitting here waiting for them to re-sign Kwesi. Like KOC's been re-signed, but I don't even know if we've re-signed Kwesi. I have to research that too.
I thought we gave him a 2-year extension versus KOC's. I think was a lot longer than that. I thought we gave Kwesi a 2-year extension, but it sounds like they might just kind of off him after this year and move on.
No, I don't think. If they gave him an extension, I don't think we're moving on from him. He's a decent GM. Like he's done what he needs to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we all can criticize him. Hey, why didn't we get a better backup quarterback like a Jacoby Brissett or I forgot the other quarterback.
Joe
Flacco. Yeah, Joe Flacco was later on. Like there's another quarterback that's actually playing pretty decent right now. That wouldn't have cost us money, but it would have cost us a comp pick, and that's why we didn't go after him.
Yeah, I mean Aaron Rodgers,
we could have had after the comp pick. Would have been talked about.
But that's, I mean, I feel like that falls on KOC for thinking like, hey, no, we're going to ride or die with McCarthy. They didn't think he was going to get hurt. And then when he got hurt, Flacco was already picked up. Rodgers was already picked up. I think Brissett was already picked up. So it's like, well, what do you do? Well, shit, Wentz is floating around.
Like that's the issue I have is why didn't we actually go and get a suitable backup? And like a Brissett, who, yeah, you have experience playing, right? But you're not going to be competition for our young quarterback. You're going to be our backup.
Well, I think that's what they thought Wentz was, because with the Rams for a season, he had what familiarity with the offense, and he was a legitimate bench rider, or not a bench rider. He wasn't even on a team; like he was at home.
Yep.
And so I was like, well, why don't we call this guy who has, like, does Brissett have familiarity with an O'Connell offense? I don't know. And so they'd rather have someone like, hey, 4 years ago when he was in Indy, he had 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and had a decent season. He knows this offense, sort of. Like, maybe we can kind of plug and play it.
His time in New England.
Wentz?
Not Wentz. I'm talking Brissett.
Oh yeah, no, Brissett's fine, but again, like, did he have familiarity with the offense? I feel like KOC prioritized someone that can come in and recognize the plays a little more than someone like Brissett, who he'd have to basically go full Josh Dobbs with and have to teach him the playbook on the fly.
But if we sign him mid-off season, you're telling me you have a full OTAs, full training camp. You can't learn a system, and you're a professional backup.
I think that's what they were hoping Howell was going to be. I mean, we obviously traded for him in the draft to bring him in here. He had an okay arm his rookie season. If he threw a ton of interceptions, yeah, he did. But we're sitting here talking about how we'd take Jameis Winston right now, and that's his whole mantra is he throws as many picks as he does touchdowns. But he's a, quote, good locker room guy, and he's fun to watch. Like, we could have had that with Howell, and for some reason the team at the last minute was like, nope, this guy sucks. I mean, we saw it in the preseason. He did suck. They're like, well, fuck it. Let's just bring in Wentz. Like, I think they thought Howell could have been a Brissett type, and he just didn't pan out. I mean, there's not 32 good starting quarterbacks. If you're sitting here picking the barrel for who's going to be a good backup, then yeah, we probably should have gotten someone like Flacco, who's a legitimate backup. But Rodgers wanted to be a starter, so that was a non-starter.
Yeah, that's why I'm
saying
Rodgers was a hell no to me.
Yeah,
because there would have been a competition for and I want somebody who is not a competition for starter.
Right. Look at San Francisco with Mac Jones right now. He's going to be starting his, fourth or fifth game in a row, and they haven't skipped a beat. People are saying, like, well, they fucked up playing Brock Purdy because Mac Jones is kind of playing better ball right now. And he's doing it without Ayuk. He's doing it without Debo. Like, I guess they got Kittle and McCaffrey, but still, it's like he doesn't have the greatest receiving group. So, like, that's another backup that's like, well, the Vikings, could they have gotten Mac Jones? What could we be doing with them? Daniel Jones, they offered him a contract to stay. He turned it down because he wanted to go to Indy and be a starter.
Yeah, well, he knew he wasn't going to be a starter here, so
that's what I'm saying. But yeah, people say, like, well, why didn't we keep him?
Indy than here, and people are talking trash about it. It's like, dude, if you're an NFL quarterback, you want to start.
Well, and again, it's Daniel fucking Jones. We're sitting here talking about a player that when we brought him in, Vikings fans are like, what the hell are we doing? It's Daniel Jones. And then 3 months later, they're saying Kwesi should be fired for letting him go. It's wild. And then he has He's had turned it over 5 times against the Steelers last week.
But at the same time, you look at how his offense, he's legitimately being talked about MVP, dude.
He's also being carried by Jonathan Taylor, who has 10 touchdowns in 9 weeks.
That's true.
Give us a running back with 10 touchdowns through 9 weeks, and I guarantee you we have more than 4 wins.
Give us a running back that could run for 100 yards. Just run for 100 yards. Non-purpose, all-purpose.
Right? We had that with Mason against Cincy, and look, we won. And then we had it almost with Jones this last week, going off at almost 9 yards a carry. And look at that. We won. It's almost like having a really good running back helps you win games. But I'm going to give my prediction for tomorrow because we only have like a minute left. You said what? You think either 14-10 or something like 23-21?
24-21 or 14-10.
I'm going to go the same as last week. I just don't see it this week. I think we are going to have that emotional letdown. I think Baltimore is too good with Lamar. I'm going to say Baltimore is going to beat us 32-17. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I can reverse jinx it. But if not, we'll talk about it next week. Thanks for being on here and not making me go solo for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Have a good week. And Skull.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports, just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken, stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 Palmcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts.